decided to move to Nashville when Taylor had actually been offered a development deal. At that point, we knew we weren't just proud parents and that maybe we should put her in the area where she could make the most of it.
When I was 13, I landed a meeting with a record label in town, RCA. They gave me a development deal, which is basically like, we believe in you, kind of. We're gonna watch you. It's not like you're making an album now.
Taylor and I would go in there sometimes once a week with new songs that she had written. They would look at us and say, well, it's getting a little closer. They weren't saying, yes, that's a great song, let's put it on a record.
At the end of the year, they had a chance to either sign me or watch me for another year without commitment.
They looked at us and said, you know what, we're not ready to offer a record deal.
I did something that you don't usually do in Nashville when you have an in with a record label. I walked away because I had a feeling that I was not going to be able to record my own music that I'd written.
I looked at her sort of panic-stricken, like, this is a major record label. You don't get that every day. Are you sure you want to walk away from this? And she said, absolutely.
I had this showcase at the Bluebird Cafe, ironically the place where Faith Hill got discovered. And I played my guitar and sang a bunch of songs that I'd written. There was one guy in the audience named Scott Borchetta. So he came up to me after the show and he said, I want you on my record label, and I want you to write all your own music. And I was so excited. And I get a call from him later that week and he goes, hey, so good news is I want you on my record label. Bad news is that I don't actually have a record label yet. Well, he explained to me that he doesn't have a building, he doesn't have a name for it. He just has this dream that he wants to do it. And so he says, will you just please wait for me? And for some reason, I was willing to wait for that.
Because she believed in the person who was going to be running that record label, and he really believed in her.
I knew that if I could be a part of building something from the ground up, of being the first artist on a brand new record label, that would be okay with me as long as I could do something really adventurous and bold and new. So I signed my record deal with Scott Borchetta, and I was making an album full of songs that I had written by myself. This little red thing, this red guy is the best windscreen you got, so they won't hear that. It's awesome. There was no inclination that this was gonna work out, but we really believed in it. Putting out my first single was just such a cool experience because I just didn't know what was going to happen. I remember putting the physical CD singles into envelopes to mail out to radio with my mom. I got to go on radio tour. And you hear tour, you think tour bus? No, rental car, Taurus, me in the back seat.
Hi, baby.
How's it going?
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I brought you cookies.
Sure did. Look at that.
Going from radio station to radio station to radio station, and every time I would go to a new radio station, I would play in the conference room for a couple of DJs, and I would like beg them to put me on the air, and it worked. My album sold 39,000 in the first week, and then over time it started to sell like this. Then something really crazy started to happen. I was opening up for every single country headliner imaginable. I was opening up for Brad Paisley, George Strait, Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, like all these people I'd always wanted to open up shows for. I was a nervous wreck. I'd rehearsed nonstop over and over again, but I loved it. Those were some of my favorite times.
For this song, I would love it if you would have your cell phones and glow sticks or anything sparkly that you might have. Hold them up for me. And I would love it if you would sing along with this song, because this is the first song that you ever heard from me. But those Georgia stars to shine that night. I said that's a lie. Just a boy in a Chevy truck that had a tendency of getting stuck back roads at night. And I was right there beside him all summer long. And then the time we woke up to find out summer gone. But when you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song, the one we danced to all night long. The moon like a spotlight on the bed. When you think happiness, I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me. September sob night of tears and thanking God that you weren't here to see me like that. But in a box beneath my bed is a letter that you never read 3 summers back. It's hard not to find it all a little bittersweet. And looking back on all of that, it's nice to believe. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song, the one we danced to all night long. Come in like a spotlight on the bed. When you think happiness, I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me.
It was such a cool energy walking through that crowd. People are crying, and I love excitable people, so it was one of my favorite things. I hug a lot of people over the course of that song. I show a lot of extra love to the little kids that I know are there for their first concert. It was really important for me to go out there and actually say hi to people and thank them for coming and be right there next to them, because I'm always going to want to go the extra mile for them, because I can't believe the extra 1,000 miles they've gone for me. One of my favorite things every single night. And I'm back for the first time since then. I'm standing on your street. There's a letter left on your doorstep, and the first thing that you read is when you think Tim McGraw. I hope you think my favorite song. Turn Houston radio on. I hope it takes you back to that place when you think happiness. I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me. Oh, think of me.
those Georgia stars, shame that night. I said that's a lie.